Richard Bewonyo is a trained videographer, but he's been getting few orders to be filming in the field. He spends a significant amount of time at home. That means less monthly income for the upkeep of his family. High food inflation and the cost of other basic goods have worsened his plight. He says surviving requires juggling finances and skipping meals.
It is just you being smart. So say if you used to spend 100 cedis for lunch, now you must look for a way to spend 40 cedis for lunch. Because what you used to buy for 100 cedis for lunch is now 500 cedis for lunch. So if you used to eat 3 square meals, now you have to do maybe 1 and drink water throughout the day.
Ghanaians haven't seen inflation this high in over 3 decades. Soaring prices are eating into people's purchasing power, and there is no escape from it. The cost of essential items is surging, including fuel prices, and the weakened local currency, the cedi, is leading to an increase in the import of products and services. For businesses, it is a daily struggle just to keep running. Clement Boateng has made a steady living from his vehicle spare parts shop in the capital of Accra for more than 20 years. He has employees to pay, but now fears for his livelihood. Boateng says the economic crisis is hitting his business hard.
Anytime the cedi depreciates, that means if you want to, import or bring in more goods, that means you have to find an additional money, to top up whatever money that you're supposed to use to do your import. And here is the case that the interest rate, policy rate has also been increased, and then interest rate has also been increased, which means if you go to the bank to borrow, you are still going to borrow at a very high rate. So it has not been easier.
Ghana's economic situation is dire, with its public finances unsustainable. Its debt to GDP ratio is over 80%, worsened by poor tax revenue. Protests and pay disputes have forced the government to turn to the IMF for a bailout. The government is now appealing for public support as it begins restructuring its public debts to secure an IMF bailout.
We are all in this together, and we intend to get out of this together. The alternative will be a far worse economic crisis with protracted closure from international markets, including imported goods and services, and further domestic economic instability, both for the real economy and the financial sector.
But economists say the high cost of living in Ghana and other African countries could have been avoided if governments had kept tighter controls on public borrowing and spending.
We can't continue to be doing a 4-year cycle of going to IMF. It's becoming an unfortunate situation. We believe that the government needs to take steps to ensure that we minimize going to IMF by being disciplined, by making sure that the debt levels are sustainable, and that every money that government needs to borrow must be money that would have the capacity to pay back itself given the projects will be given.
Bewonyo is bracing for tougher periods even in 2023. He hopes the road to recovery will become smoother sooner rather than later. Isaac Kaledzi, TRT World, Accra, Ghana.